Hello, everyone. So, have you ever wondered why so many people that go on a weight loss plan or diet, that a lot of people see success, but it's only temporarily, and a lot of times they gain it all back and then some, even more. We all know that diets don't work. And do you really want to lose the same 10 pounds over and over again? People are about to go on a diet and they're thinking about going on a diet. It's like they have to gear up. They got to get motivated and, get prepared, get revved up, get prepared to suffer, get ready to ignore those cravings, to be hungry, to ignore the hunger pains and embrace the process. How can this way of thinking actually last? How can this way of thinking free us from the power of food that it has over us? There is one free tool that every human being has, and it's free, and it can give you freedom over food. A tool that can help you get to your healthy weight and stay at your healthy weight. I'll be sharing with you that today and about that tool and how you can start using this tool today to get to your healthy goals. I'm Maria Kronk, and I'm a certified health coach. I'm also a nutritional culinary instructor, and I love helping and guiding people find easy ways, simple ways to get to their healthiest selves. We all know that diets don't work. Why? Because they're not using that one crucial tool that I'm going to be sharing with you in a moment. But first, about diets. One thing that there is to know that there's not one diet for everyone. Everybody's different, has different needs. We need to realize that there's a way of eating. It has to be foods that work for your body, that make you feel your best. You should never be hungry, and you should always be eating foods that you like and that taste good to you. It's not just about weight loss, too. That's another thing. Starting a new way of eating, it can't be just about losing 10 to 20 pounds. It has to be more than that. It has to be about reducing pain, about having more energy, about having clarity. It's about sleeping better, about feeling rested. It's about having better digestion. It's less brain fog, reducing the risk of disease, being more active, especially when you're older. Quick fixes don't work. And all of that saying no and that deprivation and all that hard work goes out the window once they go back to their old eating habits. It can't be just about losing weight. It has to be more for lasting change. You most likely know that we need to develop healthy routines. So why don't we develop these healthy routines? Why are they such a struggle? Because they're not using that one most important tool that I'm going to be explaining to you shortly. You want to develop routines that last your lifetime. It's about developing eating habits that will give you more energy, better sleep, and ways that you can control your food. Your body will naturally get to its healthy weight once those other things are in place. So part of healthy routines is learning what our bodies need. Most of us have tuned out what our body signals. We ignore the hunger and the cravings, and we actually cling to feeling deprived, and we think that's what we're supposed to feel when we go on these diets. We believe we're supposed to feel deprived and hungry on a diet. Mindful eating is actually developing routines that will slow you down. It'll get you to focus, eliminate distractions, and it'll help you to pay more attention to what your body is saying. Asking questions like, how does this make me feel? Am I satisfied? Am I hungry, or am I stressed? Do I really need to eat this, or is there something else I need? Those are really important questions. All of these things are essential to getting to your healthiest self. But there's still one more powerful tool that every person has, one free tool. And what is that most powerful tool? The most powerful tool is the one between our ears, our brain. Now hear me out, no pun intended here. But this tool is so powerful. I'm going to explain how I use this tool that is in our brains in just a second. But you will see that every single person that has been successful losing their weight, getting to a healthy weight, and staying there uses this tool every single day. It's not what you are that holds you back. It's what you think you are not. Dennis Waitley, that is so true. You are what you think. Did you ever wonder why it's such a struggle to do the things that are best for us, those those healthy habits, those healthy things. Why is it so difficult? Making healthy changes is easier said than done, that's for sure. We need to get to the root of the problem. We need to figure out what drives us towards those unhealthy habits and thinking. Did you know that our brains are so powerful that our thoughts actually produce chemicals in our brains? They actually create, and it's for good or bad, there's actual neural pathways that are hardwired in our brain. They're formed by our thoughts. They can be helpful or they can be harmful to us. The dominant pathways, the dominant neural pathways, can overpower and minimize the smaller pathways. We can develop routines that strengthen the healthy thinking pathways and shrink the negative ones. You can override the dominant adverse pathways with pathways that help you get to your healthy goals. I'm going to explain that in just a second. Our brains focus and prioritize on what we think about most. So those are the dominant pathways. Like a computer, it will archive data that it doesn't see as essential and as important, and it doesn't make, our brains don't make any judgment. It's not like this is good, this is bad, this is right, wrong. It just sees the strongest messages as the important ones. So what you think about most, that's what your brain says. This is important. We need to make this a dominant pathway. How do we change those dominant thoughts that are not serving you? First step is to see the thoughts and beliefs that are dominating your thoughts that are not beneficial. Which ones are good? Which ones are not good? Which ones are true? Which ones are lies? That we need to become aware of that. So what are the loudest messages that are going on in your head? What are you saying? We often don't even realize how often we are saying this and what we are saying to ourselves. How hard are we on ourselves? We often form beliefs that say, I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough for this. Those are lies that we are saying to ourselves. What lies have you been telling yourself? Are there lies that you've been saying to yourself over and over again? Yes, if you're being honest, we all have done that at one point or another. If you say it long enough, you're going to believe it. The same goes for the positive things that you say. You are what you think. I'm telling you, this is really powerful. It's not to be taken lightly. I know it's just words, and it seems weird just to be saying these things over and over again, but it is so powerful. It's really important to try this out because it will change your life. For example, one of the messages that I would say to myself often when I looked in the mirror or I looked at a picture of myself is, oh my gosh, you're so fat and you're so ugly. None of those messages helped me to start to make healthy choices and get to a healthier state. So what are the steps to rewire your brain and to create dominant neural pathways that can help you get to your healthiest self? The first thing is awareness. That's the first step. You must become aware of what those messages are, what those beliefs are, before you start changing them. Pay attention to these messages. So my advice is to take 1 week and pay attention to what you are saying when you look in the mirror, when you're getting dressed, throughout the day, when you're driving, whatever. Pay attention to what these messages you are saying to yourself. And if you can, write them down. This is really powerful. When you write them down, it helps hardwire them in your memory. Also, if you can always put it on the notes in your phone if you don't have a pencil and paper. But if you can, definitely jot them down. You will remember them better. Another thing that helps is a trigger for me to stop and say, hey, what am I thinking right now? A really powerful trigger when I start to feel a negative emotion. So when you start to feel angry, upset, depressed, stop and then ask yourself, what am I saying to myself right now? What am I thinking right now? Those are really good triggers to help you to really see what you're saying. You might be very shocked, like, oh my gosh. Take a note on how often this happens, when you're saying it, and ask yourself this question. Would I say the same thing to my child or my best friend? You'd never say that to your friend or your child, so why would you say it to yourself? Okay, so the second week, once you become aware of this internal messaging, reword it to speak truth and healing over yourself. So speak them in your head. Speak them out loud when you can. I'm telling you, this is so powerful. Make these words, you want to make them relevant for you. Yeah, speak them, do them several times a day. Write them down and put them in places that you pass by each day, like above your toilet paper, on your mirror, on your fridge, in your car. You can even have an alarm on your phone to remind you to say these phrases. They are so powerful. So here's some examples here's a negative and how you would change it into something positive. I am fat and ugly, negative. Change it to I am excited to see my body get healthier and healthier. I am excited to see my body transform as I make healthy choices. Okay, negative, I hate exercise. You can change it to I love being active. I love to walk and enjoy the fresh air. Negative, this food must taste bad. It looks healthy. I've actually heard people say that. Change that to I choose to eat foods that make me feel good. I love finding ways and flavors that make my healthy food taste incredible. 4, I love seeing myself get healthier every day. Okay, here's another negative. I have no control over food. You can change that to I am gaining more and more control over my food choices every day. Another negative. I am such a failure. A lot of people have said this. You can change that to I am making small changes every day and I'm succeeding. I can do this. I will do this. I am excited to see myself getting stronger and stronger every day. Just saying that just makes me like, woohoo! It's like I said, repeat them multiple times a day and say them over and over again until you believe it. Because if you say it long enough, you're going to believe it. If you think it long enough, your brain will prioritize it and it will become dominant and it will transform your life. I hope this was helpful and I'll be talking to you guys soon.